Vladimir Putin was born on October 7, 1952, in Leningrad. I come from an ordinary family, and this is how I lived for a long time, nearly my whole life. I live as a average, normal person, and I have always kept that connection. Putin recalls.
His father, Vladimir Putin, participated in the war in the 1950s. He worked as a security guard and later as a foreman at the carriage works. After the war, the Putin family moved into a room in a communal apartment house on Baskov Line. In 1960 to 1968, Vladimir Putin attended primary school number 193 in Leningrad. After the 8th grade, he entered high school number 281, a chemistry-focused magnet school under the age of a technology institute, completing his studies there in 1960. In the 6th grade, Vladimir Putin decided that he needed to achieve something in life, so he began getting good grades, which came easily to him. He was allowed to join the Young Pioneers organization and almost immediately became the head of the pioneer detachment in his class. It became clear that street smarts were not enough, so I began doing sports, but even that was not enough for maintaining my status. So to speak for very long, I realized that I also need to study well, Vladimir Putin says.
Even before he finished school, Vladimir Putin wanted to work in intelligence. He went to a public reception office of the KGB Directorate to find out how to become an intelligence officer. There, he was told that first, he would have to either serve in the army or complete college, preferably with a degree in law. After graduating from Leningrad State University, Putin was assigned to work in the state security agencies. My perception of the KGB was based on the idealist stories I heard about intelligence.
Vladimir Putin met Ludmila Estreva through a mutual friend. Ludmila worked as a flight attendant on domestic airlines and had come to Leningrad for 3 days with a friend. In 1985, before their departure for Germany, Vladimir and Ludmila Putin welcomed their first daughter, Maria. Their second daughter, Katerina, was born in 1986 in Dresden.
In 1996, Vladimir Putin moved with his family to Moscow, where he was offered the post of Deputy Chief of the Presidential Property Management Directorate. His career rise was rapid. In March 1997, he was appointed Deputy Chief of Staff of the Presidential Executive Office and Chief of Main Control Directorate. In August 1999, Putin was appointed Prime Minister of the Russian government. The post was offered to him by then President Boris Yeltsin.
Shortly before the New Year of 2000 rolled in, President of Russia Boris Yeltsin proposed that Vladimir Putin become anti-president. On December 31, 1999, Vladimir Putin became acting president of the Russian Federation.
In 1996, Vladimir Putin moved with his family to Moscow, where he was offered the post of Deputy Chief of the Presidential Property Management Directorate. His career rise was rapid. In March 1997, he was appointed Deputy Chief of Staff of the Presidential Executive Office and Chief of Main Control Directorate. In August 1999, Putin was appointed Prime Minister of the Russian government. The post was offered to him by then President Boris Yeltsin.
Shortly before the New Year of 2000 rolled in, President of Russia Boris Yeltsin proposed that Vladimir Putin became acting president. On December 31, 1999, Vladimir Putin became acting president of the Russian Federation.
Vladimir Putin was elected president of Russia on March 26, 2000 and was re-elected to a second term on March 14, 2004. On May 8, 2008, he was appointed Premier Minister by Presidential Executive Order.
Vladimir Putin is an active supporter of measures to develop the agricultural sector. Step by step, we are becoming food play masters of our own food and agricultural markets. This is the result of our work to develop the country's agricultural sector and is the visible fruit of the hard work put by our grain growers, livestock farmers, and processing companies, he said. Vladimir Putin was elected president of Russia on March 2012. He is one of the most powerful men of the world. People love and support him because they like his ideas and strategies. He is one of the best presidents that Russia have ever had.